No, no, no. Listen to you. Listen to me, okay? Because I've got a lot to get through with you. I know more than you realise. People are not just coming away thinking Cinny did nothing wrong necessarily. They're thinking JustARobot is a totally deranged freak.
Jeffrey Epstein, the gay serial killer, right?
No, that's Jeffrey Dahmer. You have pinned your channel to the reputation of someone and you've not even reviewed all the evidence. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with your programming, Mr. Robot? Now, before I do that, is there anything that you wish to admit to me?
I'm trying to think here. Didn't expect you to ask that. What I said was wrong, what I did was wrong, but I had no romantic interest in Cinny.
That's extremely manipulative, and I'm amazed that you think I would fall for that.
Hello, am I coming in loud and clear?
Yes, perfectly clear.
Perfectly clear.
Although there's a bit of echo.
There is?
Test, test, test.
On your, like you can hear your voice?
I think we're good now.
Oh, okay. So I want to give you a heads up about something. I've only seen everything before the Cinny Bear call.
That's okay.
I was listening. Yeah, I was listening to it in my car while I was driving. I've been so stressed out about this situation. I actually haven't eaten anything all day.
Okay, but are you comfortable to have this conversation now, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Like, here's the thing. Out of every video I've ever uploaded, this was the one I was the least confident on. And I was having very cold feet about it. And then
Is that why you sent it to me? Because you were a bit uncertain about it. You wanted some feedback. Is that right?
Yeah, well, partially, yeah. I wanted feedback from you. I wanted feedback from other people. Everyone I got it from seemed to think it was a solid video, but the problem is I only asked people who didn't really know about the situation so far. So I was like, okay, well, let me ask some more about around about this, because I want to make sure I'm careful with my wording, because that's something I really struggle with.
Okay, you're talking a lot. I don't want to hear all your fucking words. Okay, let me ask you some questions. Okay.
Sure.
Right. So first of all, let's get down to the brass tacks of this. Let's get down to the kind of chronology of this. Your video first of all. Okay. So, you have got a big issue with it being called grooming, but you accept, from in your own words, it's inappropriate, right?
Yeah, like, totally inappropriate. Like, she should not have been doing that. I never said it was okay for her to do that once.
Okay. Well, okay, I would put to you that the behavior exhibited here goes beyond being inappropriate and is so egregious as to not really warrant this, you know, semantic debate over whether or not it's grooming. This person was engaging in extended sexual conversations, talking about their fetishes, and sending them not safe for work fetish art, knowingly, when they were 14, and the person was 20, and Cinny Bear's 20. Like, that's a bit more than inappropriate, and could easily constitute grooming by some people's definitions, no?
Well, define grooming.
I mean, grooming takes many forms, but fundamentally, it is engaging in behavior with someone in order to prepare them for a certain act, as a very broad definition. People are groomed into cults. There's forms of grooming that are like, you know, being groomed for a position at a job, which is more acceptable and obviously not got any sort of negative implications.
So Cinny was looking to get this person in their cult or hire them?
Okay, what sort of retarded point is that? I'm giving you a general definition of grooming. No, listen to me. Okay, because I've got a lot to fucking get through with you. I know more than you realise, okay? Now, here's the thing. What I'm trying to get across to you is that grooming can take many forms, okay? If you want to argue the toss with this about whether or not it's grooming, that's fine. You can do that. But you have said it's inappropriate. I'm saying it's way more inappropriate than what you're claiming, and you should be using much stronger language with which to decry it, and it makes the grooming discussion irrelevant. What does it matter whether or not it's grooming when this person was knowingly sending porn, by your own fucking description, to someone that was 14 when they were 20?
Mind if I go ahead?
Sure.
All right. Let me think here for a second.
I would advise doing so.
Okay, so... All right. What I'm trying to get at is, when I hear the word grooming, like, what everybody hears when I hear the word grooming is they think trying to get with the child, all this other stuff. I hate this term, like, dog grooming, all this other shit. Oh, it's grooming into a position of power, into a cult. It's just, when people hear the word grooming, they immediately think of child grooming. And while I think what she did was incredibly, incredibly disturbing, I just don't think it's grooming. And maybe I'm being a little bit autistic.
Okay, but you didn't say, wait a second. You didn't say in your video it was disturbing. You said it was inappropriate. You used lots of language that downplayed the severity of what happened.
I didn't know what other words to use aside from inappropriate.
Okay, but you understand, inappropriate has also got an implication of quite a minor faux pas or a minor form of misconduct. And I'm saying this is way more egregious than that. A much stronger language is required. And not only are you not using that language, you're also trying to fucking lawyer about the meaning of the word grooming. And I'm saying it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter whether or not it's grooming. This behavior is so egregious that all you do when you talk about and argue about whether or not it's grooming is you give the implication that you're defending this person, even if you're claiming that you're not.
I 100% get that. I really should have looked through my video more, and I don't want people to come away from my video thinking Cindy did nothing wrong. I just want them to think, hey, I don't think this was as egregious as I was led to believe. Because
this is the problem you've got. People are not just coming away thinking Cindy did nothing wrong necessarily. They're thinking JustARobot is a totally deranged freak for defending this individual. Does that not bother you? Does that not upset you?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. That does. Like, that's why I got such cold feet about this and why I'm glad I looked through your video. That's why I reached out to you.
Right. Okay. So you wanted feedback primarily is why you reached out to me. Is that right?
Yeah, because, like, I think this might be my Just Stop situation. Like, remember his clearing the air video with the Ellis Mark stuff? And
okay.
So, never been more confident.
Right. Stop yabbing. I've got another point to make here. You yourself in your video, you say that Cindy has engaged in behavior that groomers engaged in. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if Cindy is engaging in behavior that groomers are engaging in, is it not reasonable that people would look at that behavior and conclude that it's grooming?
No, it is.
Right. So you're saying it's reasonable for people to conclude it's grooming. Okay. So why are you so bothered about people calling it grooming when you yourself are saying Cindy is engaged in that behavior? That's absurd.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's grooming. I'm just saying if people come to the conclusion that it's grooming, that's fine. I should have made that clear in my video. I got to that part in your video, I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I gotta take the fucking L on that. I was fucking stupid. Like, honestly...
Do you think you have been critical enough of Cindy Bear's actions in your video?
Absolutely not. I will take the L on that 100%.
Okay. So, you accept that you weren't critical enough, and you accept that it's reasonable that other people say that it's grooming. The entire premise of your video is destroyed.
Well, the premise of my video is that, well, I think it's reasonable for people to think that Cindy groomed someone.
But you didn't say that really in the video, did you? You didn't make that clear.
Absolutely. No, I did not. And I will take the L on that.
Well, it's not taking the L. The complete concept of your video is undermined in 2 fucking concessions you've made.
Okay. I think you're misunderstanding what my point is.
Okay, go ahead and make your point.
My point is I should have brought up, I can understand why people think this is grooming. That's what I'm taking the L on. What I'm not taking the L on is thinking that I don't believe this is grooming, because I don't think it was grooming, because, sure, it could have started off that way, but it never led to anything. And I'm like, there was no nudes exchanged, all this other stuff. And
do you think that grooming has to lead to a certain conclusion for it to be classified as grooming?
That's a good question.
And also, here's the thing. We don't need to argue the toss about whether or not it's grooming, right? Because creator to creator, what I'm saying to you as well, is why are you taking your channel that you've built and why are you attaching it so closely to someone who's done such egregious acts to issue any defense? You don't have to say it's grooming necessarily, but through the entire video, you make endless efforts to downplay Cindy Bear's actions. You talk about how, oh, they only sent softcore porn, and oh, the porn was censored, right? You say that if people are sharing it publicly, well, they're basically doing the same thing that Cindy Bear is doing by sending that privately to a minor. The whole video is downplaying their actions. Please, go on.
Can I respond to
Yes, please. Please do. Sure.
Okay. Thank you. So first, with the whole document thing, like people sending it to, like they're saying what she put, the screenshots they showed in the doc was her sending porn, and then they linked that doc themselves. I'm like, If you think this is porn, you shouldn't be linking it. I don't link porn under my videos. I don't believe you do either. That's what I'm getting at. And by the legal definition, this is not porn. Her character doing a sexy pose is not porn.
Do you think a character tied up to a post in a bondage-like fashion, do you think that is porn?
Suggestive and softcore porn, yes. It's just, maybe it's because
it's porn then. I'm not saying it's hardcore. I'm not saying it's the most hardcore material going. But definitionally, it is porn. Cine Bear sent porn at 20 years old to someone that's 14.
Yeah, maybe it's brain rot from anime I've watched. It's just, I see this stuff in anime all the time, so I thought, I saw this as a kid. Maybe I'm just being old-fashioned the way I'm thinking. Maybe I'm just being stupid. I don't know. It's just...
Well, the old-fashioned take is don't send porn to a 14-year-old when you're 20. No?
Yeah, but when I hear people say send porn, what I was thinking was, like, when I first heard about this drama, people were making it sound like she was sending, like, dick pics to this minor. And when I think it's just when I heard about this, the bar was just set so high, and I thought this is what people were mad about.
Okay, but something cannot be as bad as people are presenting it at and still be bad.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. I agree with you there. I said in my video, I don't know why she did this.
Yeah, I don't know why she did this. And you're completely dismissing in your video, you know, the idea that it could be anything except them just being essentially a gooner. And I'm saying that there is behavior exhibited here that could be indicative of grooming. And even if you don't want to accept that, it's still completely unacceptable behavior. And it's indicative of an impulse control problem where they can't stop themselves from engaging in a sexual conversation with a minor.
Yeah, that is a big problem. I told her, like, don't ever do this again, but I can see that it's happened so many times.
It's all very well what you said to them, but in your video, the entire premise and the way you're presenting it is to downplay and defend.
I know, it's just I thought there were so many offensive videos out there that why can't there be one video going in the, well, aside from Kumo, another video going in the opposite direction? Like, I was trying to add to
Do you think there should be a video defending Jeffrey Epstein against his crimes?
Jeffrey Epstein, the gay serial killer, right?
No, that's Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Epstein is the billionaire financier who was you know, on pretty serious charges, was a convicted pedophile, in fact, and had more charges brought forward.
No. I don't think Cine is at that level.
Well, no, hang on a sec. Just to be clear, I'm not saying that Cine is at that level, but you said that you saw. But what you said was there's a bunch of videos that are like, you know, going very critical on Cine Bear. So your response is to put out a video that's positive, and I'm saying that's a flaw in your logic, because even if people are going too hard, you should look at the evidence and come to the best, most reasonable conclusion, rather than work for the premise of I'm going to put a video out that's more supportive of Cine. You see that? Do you see what I mean?
I completely get it. That's why I did criticize her a little in my video, and I will completely take the L. I should have done it much more. I should have been way more harder on her, and I will completely take the L on that.
Okay, right. Now, there's, you know, lots of detail to get to in, you know, the video itself, but I'm more interested in sticking to what I'm concerned with, because the second aspect of this is your interview with Cine. How do you think that went?
Horrible. I should have been way more journalistic about it. I was very tired when it happened. Honestly, the only reason why I included it in my video is I thought the video was solid, and I pretty much just added it to pad out the video. I haven't seen your coverage of the call, but after watching it a few times last night, I could see, yeah, this was not smart of me how I conducted this call at all. I was way too unprofessional and friendly.
Yeah, I mean, what was your goal going into that?
Give me a second. I need to go. My goal. I guess it was just to get her side of things. I guess that was it.
Okay.
And also to show, like, I was also going to reach out to Jack, but they never got back to me. I wanted to show that, like, because I've received criticisms of, oh, Jar, you don't reach out to people before talking to them. And this was one of the first times I've done that, and I clearly didn't do it right.
Sure. I mean, you know, I don't know if this is maybe your first time doing this or what the case is there. But, of course, if you're reaching out to someone to get their side of the story, it's important to ask pointed, specific questions in a way that puts things to them to try and get their side of the story. And it seemed to me like you just wanted to have a chat and have a laugh and talk about other drama and present yourself as this person who's done this before and everything's going to be okay. Don't worry, Cinebear, we're going to sort this out. It was almost like listening to a defense attorney talk to their client. You understand that's like a, you know, to me, a very big conflict of interest. If you're going to make a video about someone, it should be matter of fact, business, and to the point, right?
I know, it's just, I got convinced that after looking with what I had, that Cine might have been in the right, or not in the right per se, but not a groomer, and a lot of this drama was overblown mainly because of the Pyro stuff. I mean, like, Pyro asked a 15-year-old to draw him as a thicker version of himself. He gets away with it, so I'm like, wait, how is that okay, but this isn't? And that's what I was, like, questioning myself on.
Okay, so without going too deep into the Pyro stuff, the basic premise there, and I've got, you know, a more critical aspect of Pyro than maybe other people do, but to fundamentally lay it out, Pyro benefited from two things. He had a big supportive audience, and also Turkey Tom made mistakes in how he approached the story, and he was heavily criticized. So what happened was people were able, because of like the big audience, to turn a lot of it into a joke because of the absurdity of it, and people were also able to focus on Turkey Tom's bad kind of mistake there. So I think Pyro could well have received more criticism had that not been the case. But I think there's dynamics there that don't apply here that affected how that turned out. And the other issue, I think, is you're going back to this Pyro story. Pyro has got plausible deniability that he had no idea of the age of the individual when the more sexual stuff was happening. Whereas with Cinebear knew the age from the start and asked again. So Cinebear does not have that excuse.
I've heard a lot of people bring that up. And when I look at Pyro's video, he said, I played this clip in my video, he later learned of Ivory's age, and then, and I quote here, shouldn't have continued the furry stuff with him after that. And I was like, what do you mean by the furry stuff? Because, like, we saw what the other furry stuff was, so, like, what else was said? And, like, I'm surprised I was the only person who was, like, thought that was a little sus.
Well, here's the thing. And this is the other point of difference that I feel you've really failed to see here, is, to my knowledge, Pyro nor the other party released the entirety of these DMs to review. And so Pyro is able to hide behind a level of uncertainty of what was and wasn't said. And I can't speak as to what was and wasn't said. I believe the person was 16 when he found out the age, and Pyro was 19. I think they continued to have a kind of furry-esque, somewhat sexual conversation. But for me,
I think Pyro was either 19 or 20, but yeah, I get what you mean.
So the point is, there's these small differences, and when you get close to like the the age of consent thing, you end up in situations where the slimmest of differences can make all the difference, you know. And a year one way or another can turn it from something that most people would see as acceptable to being totally unacceptable. And
I know.
And I think the problem is you're relying so much on this Pyro thing when there's differences within the story itself. And I'm very critical of Pyro. I've got a video where I've spoken about how I think it got off quite lightly. But, you know, fundamentally there are differences there. And the other problem is we can see all of Cinebear's logs. We can see every single message. Did you look at the messages between Cinebear and Eno in full?
Admittedly, no. I skimmed through a lot. I know that makes me a very big hypocrite, because I was like, oh, people didn't look through this carefully. And I saw some people like looking through it, but like, it was just like, I looked through the first stock pretty carefully, but the first stock just had so much nothing, just like, oh, her character is in a sexy pose. I'm like, okay.
So let me get this straight. You had access. You knew it was available because it was in the reply. Cinebear had put the link to the full logs that was available to you. Before you made this video hardcore defending Cinebear, you didn't even go over the full logs in any way.
I was going to. I was planning to do that. I just didn't expect Kumo to leak my video. I was planning not today, yesterday. I was planning to upload the video today, but before I upload my video, I spend one day like double checking everything, doing extra research. And then he uploaded my video, and then I was like, oh, fuck, now I guess I have to do this.
Why? You could just say that's an early draft and there's new information that you're assessing. Why do you need to put it out quickly just because Kumo's got it out?
Honestly, I was panicking.
Right. Okay.
I didn't know it. I've never experienced that before, where someone takes one of my videos, especially on a topic this serious, and uploads it without my consent. That has never happened before. So I woke up, saw it, and then like panicked to upload it as quickly as possible. Now, I'm going to be honest here. Even if he didn't upload that video, I might have still uploaded the video as it is. I might have gotten lazy and been like, I think I've done enough work already. I'll just make a follow-up later.
I think you're trying to piss on my boots and tell me it's raining. This is fucking nonsense. How on earth can you argue that you had a video, signed, sealed, delivered, ready to upload, and you may have looked at information that may have changed the entire premise of the video later? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Mr. Robot?
No, I did I did the same thing. You can ask my editor about this. I did the same thing because I had my old Cine Bear video ready to go. And then I did a little bit more research. I was like, hang on, I need to change this. And I had it ready to go because I was afraid that when I reached out to Jack would have freaked out, and at least I had something to upload.
Okay, so as we're having this conversation now, you have not seen the full conversation and therefore cannot fully comment on the contents of the conversation. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yes.
Don't you see how bro, you have pinned your channel to the reputation of someone and you've not even reviewed all the evidence. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with your programming, Mr. Robot?
I was going to go through it. Trust me. I was like, I had this all planned out. It's just, I didn't expect things to get this complicated. And, you know, from what I've seen of the doc, like, she sung the song lyrics from I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie. I was like, why was this included? This is nothing. Like, I wanted to see like actual grooming, like nudes being exchanged, like, you know, something a little bit more serious than I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie.
Well, do you know where you could have reviewed that? The full logs. It's all there for you to review. I don't get this. This is absurd.
Oh, I know. A lot of people told me they thought this was a solid video, and I didn't think I needed to make any changes to it or do any more research, and I really fucked this one up. I suck. Like, I really fucked this one up.
Okay, listen. I'm not going to put you through the messages. They are very bad, and I'd recommend you review them. However,
all right,
Mr. Robot, I hold all the keys. I hold all the cards. And I have another thing to put to you. Now, before I do that, is there anything that you wish to admit to me before I do this?
I'm trying to think here. Didn't expect you to ask that. Admit. Well, in past videos, I've said very sus stuff that people have taken the very wrong way, and I have been friends with people who've gotten exposed and, you know, cut them off.
Okay.
There's a lot I've done, and I just ask, what is it? What is it? And just ask what it is, because you know what? Maybe there is something, and I just want to rip the Band-Aid off.
Mr. Robot, your logs with Cine Bear were leaked to me an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
And I've reviewed them on stream.
Oh.
And here's what I believe based on reviewing these logs. In the course of pursuing this story, you spoke to Cine Bear and you developed some sort of attraction or interest in them beyond the purely professional one. This has then led you to frame the video in a certain way. And this is the architect now of your pain. This connection that you've made, this non-disclosed connection, which is a complete conflict of interest and should never have happened. What say you?
I have no romantic interest. I'm very friendly with the way I talk. I can show the logs I've had with other people if they'll give me permission, but I'm very friendly. I have a girlfriend. I have no sexual interest in Cine at all.
But you okay, actually, let's say that. Go on.
No, actually, I want to take... No. Okay. Maybe I do have sexual interest in Cine. I mean, I'm a straight guy, come on. So I'm going to walk back on that. But I have a girlfriend. I'm not... what part of the logs would you like to go over with me?
Okay. So thank you for being honest there. Okay, I appreciate that. Makes my job a lot easier. Now... the first point at which I had probably the most initial concern is I'd like to take you back to you on the 29th of September.
Hang on.
8:58 p.m. Time zone unclear, possibly UK time. And you say, I presume as some sort of joke, want to see my cock. In fact, I tell you what. And then you send a picture of a chicken, of a rooster, of some sort of...
That's my humor.
Okay. Do you think it's appropriate to joke about sending a picture of your penis to someone who you're interviewing who is accused of grooming an individual?
Absolutely not.
So why did you do it?
It's just my humor. It's just what I do. I'm not the most mature fellow, and I've sent this same joke to so many other people.
Okay. I mean, presumably you were not interviewing those individuals on the basis of allegations that they're grooming.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. The second thing I'd like to bring your attention to is on the 7th of October at 12:28 a.m., I believe UK time. Okay? You requested a call, and in your words, I just need someone to chat with as I drift off to sleep. Can you explain that to me, please?
Yeah, I like to chat to people on my phone as I fall asleep. It's not a romantic thing at all. I've done it with guys, I've done it with girls. I just like to be on the phone with people as I fall asleep. I've done it with my roommate. He's not in right now, so I can't bring him in for this.
Okay.
It's just
without discerning the exact nature of this, do you at least understand it is completely unacceptable and a conflict of interest to make a video about someone, to ostensibly interview them to get their side of it, and have this level of personal conversation with them as well?
Absolutely. I shouldn't have done that. And I feel bad about that.
I mean, this is an utter shambles, Mr. Robot, is it not? What the fuck is going on here?
It is. It is. I shouldn't talk about stuff like this.
How do you think I felt when I was reviewing this? You sent this to me because, as you say, right, you wanted my opinion on it, and I'm just seeing all this atrocity on the screen, and then I get these DMs, and it's even worse.
Yeah. Like, I did not expect you to get the DMs.
No, you didn't, did you?
No. I am a little shocked that those were leaked, but yeah. What I said was wrong. What I did was wrong, but I had no romantic interest in Cindy at all. I'm very loyal to my girlfriend. I would never do anything like this, like not like this, like cheating wise. And
listen, okay. Let me just give you this, okay? I will leave it for the audience to determine what they think about the nature of your interaction, okay? My concern is not about whether or not you're interested sexually, romantically, how loyal you are to your girlfriend. Chat, the gossipers, the tea enjoyers, they may be interested in that. I personally am concerned with the conflict of interest that it represents, and I think it is an utterly egregious breach of any sort of journalistic principle or standard, which is something I believe you yourself expressed concern about with people not reaching out to individuals.
Absolutely. I mostly... Oh, actually, now I remember. I talked to her a lot about the video and how I was nervous about how it would go down. Like, it did make me lose sleep at night thinking about the backlash I would get. Because I'm not very good with this kind of stuff, and I didn't...
Okay.
Yeah?
You're concerned with backlash, okay? And I have looked at this on your request, and I've unspun this, and I've demonstrated the premise of your video is not only, to me now, broken, as you've conceded on two important points you were trying to make. The interview is absolute worthless, okay? And you have engaged in complete ethical breaches in pursuing the story. So you've done all of this, and now you're complaining about getting backlash. Well, you've done everything you possibly can to deserve it.
Well, like, I expected the backlash to happen. Like, I just didn't think it would be this bad. Like, allow me to explain my thought process here. 10 years ago, I tried to defend this person who was being homophobic, 14-year-old girl. I got backlash for it. I didn't help her anymore. Eventually, people came around. Same thing happened again with Peaches when I refused to help her, and I realized I should have done that. And I was thinking, I don't want to make the same mistake again. And I pushed through with this, not having the right mindset or the right tools at my disposal. I'm not very good with this kind of thing, and I just felt like I needed to do this because I didn't want to not help someone like I've not helped so many people before. I didn't want to be a coward again.
Okay. Now here's the thing from one person that talks about this stuff to another person that sometimes does, okay? You should never offer defense on the basis of something you've done before. You should always just look at a situation and come to the best conclusion with all of the evidence and information. I feel like you have let your ego guide you. You felt like, I've defended people before and it's worked out for me, so I'm just going to do it again. And this is your most fundamental issue that you've made beyond the conflict of interest, I think, that I've demonstrated. You've got a massive ego, I think.
Yeah, probably. It's hard to tell from your own perspective if you have an ego or not. But I will try to keep that in check more.
Okay. Now, there is one final issue with these messages that I must bring to you.
Okay.
Once again, the stench of piss rains on my boots, and you try to tell me it's merely water. You said earlier that you just wanted my feedback about your video. In the DMs, you say to Cinebear you're going to try and reach out to ChudLogic. Cinebear responds positively to that sentiment. And you then say, I think with his help, along with a recorded call on Jack, everything should go smoothly. What did you mean by that?
I thought I could get your help with looking over my video, giving me some advice, and also reacting to it, because from what I've seen from one of your older videos...
No. Everything should go... No. Everything should go smoothly. What do you mean by with my help, everything should go smoothly? What does that part mean?
Like, we should be able to get, like, people to realize that she is not a groomer.
Right. So you were trying to use my platform in order to spread your message under the auspices of, oh, I just want your feedback. That's extremely manipulative. And I'm amazed that you think I would fall for that. I'm astounded that you think you could pull a fast one on me like this.
Well, I did want your feedback. And
Who are you fucking kidding?
I did want your feedback. That's why I'm here. I sent you the video.
Yes.
And I was hoping...
But there was an unstated goal, which is to put the message out in front of a big audience, hoping I would sign off on it, and therefore it would help the story and it would benefit Cinebear and you in the process.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace. You are a fucking disgrace to this platform.
I still wanted your feedback. If you wanted to tell me, no, I don't want to do this, I would have been like, okay, cool.
Okay, I understand, but you maybe alluded to the idea that you wanted feedback or told me that you wanted feedback, okay? But that was an unspoken goal, and you clearly had that in the back of your mind. And you were trying to use my platform to push your message forward and thought I'd give it a pass and thought it would benefit you.
Yeah, I did. I did. I absolutely thought you would help me out if... first, I was hoping we would be able to... Hang on, let me just calm down real quick.
Please do, by all means. I understand this is difficult for you.
It is, but, you know, I need to at least... I need to own up to my mistakes. So I'm just going to own up here. I really was hoping you could help me out with this, and we could talk about, give me a...
Take your time.
I was hoping you would help me out with this, because I thought you were more skeptical on this, and I thought when one YouTuber talks about something, it doesn't usually go over well, but when two do it, it goes over a lot better. And I always hear your name being brought up almost everywhere. Like I think even in what do you call it, the Noah Samson drama, like apparently he accused you a bunch of stuff, and I was like, huh, this guy just seems to be brought up everywhere. And I don't know you personally. We've never spoken until this day. I've only seen your one video on me. and I was hoping to get help from you. Absolutely was, but I also wanted your feedback.
Sure. So, I mean, what happened with me gave me a lot of perspective on what it's like to be accused of something that is unreasonable, unfair, excessive, overstated, slanderous, lies, whatever you want to call it, okay? But what it also gave me over time is a sense of, well, just because you were falsely accused of something excessive doesn't mean that everyone is going to be falsely accused of something. And so what it taught me is to be more discerning, scrutinize the information, scrutinize the evidence, and come to the best possible conclusion on the information in front of me. Because some people do bad things. It didn't give me a bull in the china shop, I need to defend everyone that's accused. Because sometimes people are accused of things and they've done something wrong and they need to be criticized for that. And so I think you've misunderstood what my vision with this stuff is. It's not just defend, defend, defend. It's give everyone a fair shake, give everyone a fair shot. And I did give Cine Bear a fair shot. I looked at all the available information, including the DMs, and I concluded that the behaviour was totally and utterly unacceptable, even if you want to try and argue about whether or not it's grooming. And I think you've made this mistake in thinking that I just defend, defend, defend. And I don't just defend, defend, defend. It depends on the context of the situation. Even with the antagonistic conversation we're having now, if someone came out with allegations against you that I felt were unreasonable, I would also defend you along those lines. But obviously, if it came out with hardline proof that you've done something completely unacceptable, I would have to condemn you accordingly. So it's about looking at things and looking at the evidence. Whereas I feel you're thinking, how can I defend this person? And I think that's largely influenced by your personal connection with them.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I was influenced. I wish I reached out to Jack first because I really wanted to get their side of the story. I just didn't think my video would get leaked and this whole thing would get so complicated. I should have done more research, and I do apologize to you if you thought my intentions were... No. I absolutely apologize to you for what I said about you. I should not have said that. I should have said, I will speak to him and see if I can get his help. I should have said that first. I completely apologize for that, and I take the L on that.
See, this is where it gets difficult because you're conceding on everything, and I feel, you start to, as a human being, I start to feel bad. But, you've behaved very egregiously, and I don't want to hammer the point home. But, what is to be done about this situation?
All I can do right now is unlist the video. Let me do that now. Or, private the video.
I mean, I need to understand that you're not doing this just because of the pressure. You are doing this because you recognize you've done wrong, right?
Absolutely. I done wrong. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to bring this to the Cine Bear situation. Yeah, I should have brought up that she also realized she done wrong. That was my bad. I had a lot of confidence about this, but also a lot of unconfidence about this. It's a weird feeling to be very confident and unconfident about something at the same time. And I wanted to reach out to people, make sure this went perfectly, and, well, it clearly didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't looking for any particular outcome. I just wanted to talk to you about the video. If you feel
I'm happy you did, because here's the thing. I'm so unconfident about this, and from what I've been told, you're a pretty intelligent guy, so that's why I wanted your perspective, because I'm going to be real here. I'm not fucking smart. I'm not smart at all. And, I mean, you can clearly see that this might be the biggest fuck up I've ever made on YouTube. And I really am glad that I got to chat with you, because if I am in the wrong, I will happily take down my video. I've been lied about plenty of times, and I've always fought back against people slandering and lying about me. I'm not fighting back this time because I know, after chatting with you and watching through your video, that I am in the wrong here.
Okay, let's talk about your response to this then, because I've seen you in the replies, and they call it spurging, right? So you are repeatedly and excessively responding to criticism.
Oh, absolutely.
What's that all about? What's going on there? Why did you do that?
I think I just got angry and kept on going on because I think what my perspective was, this is not the first time I've used a safe word clip. The first time was in the Mari and Cal drama, and, I helped her out of that. She still got canceled in the end, but I disproved the allegations against her. But point is, I'm going off topic. Sorry. Point is, I used a safe word like, "Hey, say it was avocado toast," and no one did it. So I was hoping to do that again, but then after a while, I started to realize around like the time right before I went to bed that, oh fuck, people are actually watching the video, and oh fuck, they're disagreeing with me. Oh fuck, I really fucked up.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it just seems like, you know, you were overconfident. It's this ego thing. And it's like, I don't know, it takes me to tell you that? Like, where's the fucking self-reflection in yourself to recognize this?
I don't know. Like, I was also very unconfident at the simultaneously. My roommate was out on the trip, and I usually go through my videos with him so he can, like, tell me if I'm being too egotistical, if I need to word this better, word this differently. And he wasn't home, and he was coming home. He came home the day I actually uploaded it, but that was because of the Kumo thing, and I really feel like I fucked up this situation, and I think I was somehow unconfident, but also overconfident at the same time. I was way too confident that this would go over well, because, I don't know, I was just stupid.
High on ego, high on past success. Also, I mean, the other problem I've got with this too is, and look, I'm not here to defend Cinebears, I'm sure you can tell. But
I can tell.
But you, in your actions, have given this kind of false hope to Cinebear by acting like this is all going to be okay. When I think any reasonable person is looking at this and going, yeah, Cinebear's toast over this. This is like too much to overcome.
Okay, I can completely understand where you're coming from. 100%. It's just, I helped Peaches out a lot. It was not just me, it was a bunch of other people. And her backlash was like worse than the backlash Antunes got, if you know what that was. And it took a long time, but we got her out of it. I was only one small person who did that. So I thought, oh, this is surprisingly the backlash Cinebear was getting wasn't as bad. So I thought, oh, there might be actually
okay.
A chance
So this is what I think. Let me just lay it out for you. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so your personal attachment. You have said, you have expressed some sort of sexual interest in Cinebear already, okay? The full extent of that and whatever, we don't need to get into, but I'm saying that, you know, blinded you to the reality, and that led you to make these statements to Cinebear because you were too close to the story. That's what's happened with that.
Okay, I just want to make this clear. I just mean that as in, I'm a heterosexual male. I mean, I find many women attractive. I mean, I'm sure you find many women attractive as well.
Of course, but then you've got to make that distinction of, you know, it doesn't matter if you find them attractive or not. You need to literally put that to one side in your head, and it's fucking business mode. Ask the questions, talk to the person, and you clearly didn't do that. You let yourself get wrapped up in it, and were making all these odd, weird comments throughout the call and in the DMs. It's quite like manipulative, I think, for what you've done in terms of how you've interacted with them. You've given them false hope. You've said, you basically said, I'm going to be your knight in shining armor. I'm going to come along and I'm going to save you. I'm going to do my best to save you. And it was dead from the start. There was no way you were going to save this person when the DMs were leaked. No way.
I have an absolute hero complex. I can admit to that. But, like, I don't think, from my perspective, I wasn't giving them false hope. Because I saw what other people went through and how much worse the backlash was. And I thought, I was comparing this to a Pyro drama, so I thought, okay, if Pyro could get out of it, I'm sure you can too. If Peaches can get out of it, you can too. And that was my justification. I think you're misunderstanding my intentions here by thinking I'm manipulating her to, I don't know, do something with her and save the day. Like, that was not my plan at all. I mean, I'm happy with the relationship I'm in.
Sure, but then the thing is I think that the manipulation aspect comes in that you're like asking for phone calls with this person. You're presenting yourself as, I'm going to do my best to save you. And oh, by the way, can we have a private conversation where I fall asleep to you? Like, you're accessing contact with someone that you wouldn't otherwise have, using this story as the leverage to do so. Is that an unreasonable take?
I wouldn't have gotten contact with them if it wasn't for this situation. I will admit to that. I had no interest in what was happening until now.
I mean, these DMs tell a very troubling story of you continually talking to them about things outside of the story, and even
No,
discussing framing your video in a certain way to defend them whilst you're asking for sleepy calls with them.
I know, but a lot of the calls were about the situation. In fact, I think maybe all of them were. I can't remember because I didn't record them all or any of them.
Okay, but so you were unsuccessful in having calls, but you still asked for them that weren't about the situation. I mean, you wanted that to happen. Whether or not it did is another matter. But you were wanting those calls to occur. You wanted a more personal connection. You were pursuing a more personal connection. Whilst you were trying to do a video about it that's supposed to presumably be unbiased, while you're telling them you're going to frame it in a way that's going to benefit them.
Admittedly, I just wanted another commentator. Admittedly, I will admit to this. I want another commentator in my corner because I had others in my corner. Lio, you've seen what happened to him.
Yes.
Peaches, she's gone. Doodle Tones, she's gone. I feel alone now. Like I'm just standing here and I need someone there to like look through my videos and say, "Oh, hey, can you change that or can you change this?" Like I love my roommate and all, but he doesn't know like this kind of stuff. He doesn't know like drama stuff.
So you specifically went about this in a way. One of your goals was to get the person who's accused of grooming and is engaged in egregious behavior in your corner because you wanted an ally.
If I could prove that they weren't a groomer, and yes, I did want an ally. Yes, because Peaches became, I guess it was because Peaches became my ally after I helped her out, or him, or whatever pronouns they go by now. And I went about this a very stupid way. I really thought I had something here. I thought my video was going to be pretty solid and it was going to change a lot of minds. I was clearly overconfident in that fact. And then I was hoping, oh, now I have this person who will help me out.
I mean, you know, it's like each thing I point out and you're, you know, sure, maybe, you know, I can't prove of a direct sexual interest, right? I can't prove that. I can only point to things which seem to indicate there's a hint of that at least, right?
Yeah, you can.
Sure.
Right.
But the thing is, you know, whatever the reason, whether it's sexual, whether it's to get an ally, whether it's to get a friend, whether it's to get someone to talk to on sleepy, lonely nights, it's insanely unethical. And also, it is leveraging contact that you wouldn't otherwise have because your sole reason for reaching out to this person is to report and talk about what happened and their alleged grooming.
Yes. Yes. Wait, actually, I zoned out. Could you repeat that? I apologize.
No, it's fine. I'll put it very simply to you, okay? The reason I use the word manipulative specifically is because the manipulation is in that you have got somewhat of a captive audience. This individual has got no allies left. Everyone is leaving them to the side. And you come along on your horse, knight in shining armor. I've got a hero complex. I'm going to save you. And then you have a push for a more personal connection with this individual, including sleepy phone calls. So you're, you know, taking advantage of this captive audience scenario to do this as you're one of the only people in your mind that's going to help them.
Well, a few others, but yeah, I think I had a very big lapse in judgment with that, and I have removed my Cine Bear video, and I will be going over a lot of the proof you've presented, because now, seeing into this light, I do see the issue with it, and I will be taking the L on that. I will be going over that in a follow-up video. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, yeah, okay. It is very dumb. But you understand, like, what I'm pointing out to you. I'm not trying to use too strong a terminology here. But, you know, City Bear is there. City Bear is alone. Okay? You're the knight in shining armor. Right? And then you're trying to capitalize on the situation, pushing for more personal contact. This isn't just a lapse in judgment, right? It seems like this is quite targeted and specific in what you're doing. Like you've thought about this. You've considered this. You want an ally, so you're going to capitalize on their situation and try and bring them to your corner.
Yes, I absolutely did that. That was stupid of me.
I mean, you know, like, is this the first time this has happened? Have you done other things like this before? I don't know the answer to that, and I don't know if I can trust you to answer me honestly. But it's a
first time I think it was with Peaches. Although other people were helping Peaches. I think that's all I can think of. off the top of my head.
And then, of course, your behavior leads me to another point. In that I feel like you were trying to kind of ice out this Kumo person.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, you were approaching this and talking to Cinebet about Kumo, and although you didn't explicitly say it, the kind of implication that I got was you were trying to present at least a lightly negative implication about Kumo before he leaked the video, right? But
yeah, I don't have the highest opinion of the guy, but I do think he can be skeptical in the right area sometimes. I mean, there's a whole history with Kumo. I'm not going to get into it right now, but...
Well, Kumo wants to call in and talk to you. Is that acceptable to you?
After he leaked my video, I'm not okay with that. Anyone else, I would be, but, like... After he leaked my video, I just don't want anything to do with him. And honestly... I just don't want to have anything
Okay,
to do with
listen,
him.
I can't pressure you to do anything. I can only put it to you, and you determine, obviously, if you want to talk to him or not. You know, I mean, I just think I don't want to put any pressure on you. You know, it feels like you've had a lot of shit to say about him. I think I'll probably have to give him a right to respond at least.
Oh, but, you absolutely should. I think he has every right to respond to me. It's just... I don't think I painted him in that negative of a light. Like, I did say some nice things about him in my video, but... I don't know. I think I really fucked up this situation, I think. Mind if I leave for 5 seconds? I need to grab a water.
Please, by all means.
Thank you.
Well... What's going on, guys? Just waiting for the water perspective, the water angle, the water thing.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, if that's your decision, that's fine.
It is interesting being on the other side of this for once. Usually I'm the one not on this side. But yeah, I'm probably going to get a lot of videos made on me. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate, and I'm going to have to admit to my wrongdoings in a video. I don't agree with everything people have been saying about me. And like, I even seen your video. You agreed with some of my points.
Well, okay. That's true. The points I agreed with were when I think it's undeniable that there's a case to be made there, like this birdie person and the GoFundMe. I think that is a very uncontroversial take. And I'm sure that people are just disagreeing with you on instinct on every part of the video. And I would not do that. I think there's a couple of good points made in there. But it's like a couple of good points and a boatload of terrible points and all the other issues that I've expressed. So it's overwhelmingly bad, even if there's a couple of good points. You know? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. This was the biggest fuck up I've ever made on YouTube, and I'm going to take the L for this. I'll go through everything I did wrong.
Okay, well, listen, look, you know, I don't want to belabor the points again and again. I feel like I've made my point. You've made concessions. You've taken the video down. So, you know, I'm cool with that. However, there is someone in chat who I think covers this stuff more. Are you familiar with FPS Diesel?